Do you remember the moment you realized that the world had changed? Let me tell you a quick little story that has nothing and everything to do with the future of our world and how you fit into it. In 1917, the United States faced a huge problem. They were working hard to compete in the industrialized economy, and there was a shortage. Not a shortage of oil or coal or other natural resources, a shortage of people, specifically obedient factory workers. The solution to this economic dilemma? It was an experiment of sorts. It hadn't been done before, until someone thought of it. Mandatory public school. Unfortunately, the initial purpose of the United States public school system was not to inspire children or generate scholars. And it wasn't created for dreamers, people who color outside the lines, break the rules, and challenge the status quo. Compete in the industrialized economy, and there was a shortage. Not a shortage of oil or coal or other natural resources, a shortage of people, specifically obedient factory workers. The solution to this economic dilemma? It was an experiment of sorts. It hadn't been done before, until someone thought of it. Mandatory public school. Unfortunately, the initial purpose of the United States public school system was not to inspire children or generate scholars. And it wasn't created for dreamers, people who color outside the lines, break the rules, and challenge the status quo. The public school system of the early 1900s was invented to create a nation full of adults who would obediently do their jobs in the factory assembly lines. Teaching kids to sit in straight rows and scheduling the entire day with the ringing of bells wasn't by chance. Punishing those who didn't conform was purposeful. These were the skills they would need to join the labor force. Intentional or not, this early method of turning dreamers into workers was an investment in the nation's economic future. And it worked. This then led to several generations of productive, fully employed workers. But it isn't working anymore. Why? Our economy has changed. We don't live in an industrialized economy anymore. We live in a connected economy. Right now, there are more users on Facebook than there were people on the planet 200 years ago. Technology has made it possible for us to connect with people, ideas, and information from anywhere in the world instantaneously. And as a result, our economies have expanded from localized towns and communities to the entire world. We have globalized trade in nearly every way. In the past, the obedient, do-what-you're-told without question people were rewarded for working hard and putting their dreams aside in order to toe the line. They were given well-paying jobs that led to long-term careers. They were guaranteed pensions, benefits, and the promise that they would always be taken care of. And they were. But that promise is gone for most of us today. Even if you have a white-collar job, the majority of white-collar workers are still working in a factory. Instead of operating a sewing machine or welding a widget, they now push pencils, type on keyboards, or process paperwork. It's still factory work because the entire focus of the day is spent on increasing productivity, which leaves little room for creativity, spontaneity, or individuality. The educated, hard-working masses are still doing what they're told, but they're no longer getting what they deserve. Even if you do everything you are told to do today, graduate from high school, go to college, get a degree, work hard in whatever job you can find, if you're lucky enough to find one, you're not guaranteed anything. Companies are being forced to change or die right now. Layoffs happen much more often than job openings appear, and the highest paying jobs are disappearing or heading overseas at an alarming rate. If you have a job where your boss tells you exactly what to do, he or she will always find someone cheaper than you to do it. Did you know that the average length of a job today is about 4.5 years? Contrast that to the 1960s when it was 40 years. The connected economy rewards a different group of people. It rewards the people who see things differently, who don't conform, people who have ideas that no one else has, people who are willing to work hard but know that the old way of doing things is broken. The connected economy rewards you not for being a cog in the wheel of life, but for standing up and reaching out. The connected economy rewards the connectors. Whether it's connecting a person to a person, a business to a business to a product, or a product to a person, those who learn how to connect are the ones who will survive and excel in the connected economy. That is how the world has changed. It's not about to change. It already has. Things are different now, and they're not going back to the way they used to be. Look at Facebook. What's their product? It's you. Your network, your information, your ideas, they all have value. Does Facebook pay you for the money they make selling your information to advertisers? No. But we still use it because we have an innate desire to connect with people. In fact, neuroscientists have found that we are actually hardwired to connect with each other. Some people know how to leverage this innate ability in today's economy, but most don't. And because they don't know how to do it, most of them are paralyzed with fear, resisting the shift, despite clear indications telling them it's time to change. In 1917, a group of people performed an experiment that forever changed the way that we earned a living. The world today is facing another huge problem. We're facing a shortage of our own. Not a shortage of factory workers or consumers. The world has enough of those. We have a shortage today of dreamers and connectors. And so, we're holding our own little experiment. And you happen to be the subject of it. This 8-minute presentation was specifically designed to seek out and find the connectors around us. Those who recognize that we are on the brink of the next economic revolution, who are ready to thrive in the connected economy, and who are searching for the best way to do it. The internet and technology are rapidly changing the way that we do everything today, including how we make a living. It's not too late to embrace the change and find a way to make yourself relevant and profitable in our brave new world. And that's why we've invited you here today. We've created something that rewards you for connecting. It pays you for bringing people together.
Well, good evening, and welcome to this wealth building webinar on Tuesday evening. We are streaming live on Facebook, so why don't you go ahead and share, because people can watch this live stream all week long if you share it in your page. People can get back to you. You know, people can find out, what is this Carrot Bars all about? You know, but first of all, what we want to do is we want to talk about what you're going to be introduced to this evening. I'm going to introduce you to an experiment. And that experiment that I'm going to introduce you to is, I want you to actually allow yourself the luxury of dreaming. I want you to allow yourself the luxury of dreaming. And when you say luxury, people feel it's a luxury. They don't even want to allow their minds to go to a place where they really are dreaming for a better economy in their own home, a better vacation, a better car, enough clothes for our children to go back to school, and we're not worried about, look, we can't afford the coats. Well, thank goodness it's not cold right now. By winter time, we can afford coats for our children. A lot of you parents know exactly what I'm talking about with that. or we're hoping they just haven't outgrown last year's winter coat. Because a good coat, they cost. You know, a nice coat to keep our children warm, especially if you're in a climate that gets really cold. See, California, we really don't know what a winter coat is all about, but there are people out there, you out there watching this live stream, you know what winter is about. But what are your dreams? Did you this summer accomplish anything that you would consider to be a dream of yours? Whether it's travel, whether it's, you know, all your bills, you're 100% debt free. No debt whatsoever. Now that's a dream for a lot of people because we're in a debt-based society. The first thing that comes in the mail, and I want you parents to really think about this and wonder, how did this happen? The first thing that comes in the mail for your child, well, you know what? I'm going to revise that statement because my granddaughter's a few weeks old, and the first thing that came in the mail with her name on it last week was a Social Security card with a number on it, and her parents hadn't even applied for one. See, the hospitals will tell you, oh, don't worry about that. We got you covered. We're going to get her that number because she's going to be an employee when she grows up. That's interesting. But the second piece of mail that usually comes with your child's name on it when they turn 18 years old, isn't it interesting how you start getting credit card offers in your child's name? They're 18. A lot of them are still in high school, just getting ready to graduate or just graduated. A lot of them don't have a job. So how do you get a congratulations, you're pre-approved for a $200 credit card? Because they are hoping to start your children off early with getting into debt and debt bondage. That's a sad thing. But let's talk about the connective video. It talked about just some of the different changes, the experiments that were happening. Mandatory public school was one of them. You know, another change that happened was, can you remember a time when families used to eat dinner at the dining room table? I know when I was younger, I was raised by my grandparents, and we had a nice dining room table. It had a leaf that you could put in it. You know, it could seat up to 12 chairs, but normally without the leaf, it had 8 chairs at the table. And all of a sudden, you know, the TVs came into existence. We got our TV. We had our TV in the living room. Black and white was first, then it went to color. And all of a sudden, advertising started to happen on those new TVs saying, why be stuck at the dinner table? Have one of these wonderful TV dinners. Not just the women, now that you're going into the workplace, because that's what was happening, you don't have time to come home and cook. Throw these TV dinners in the oven. And guess what we also had to get? We got TV dinner trays. Do any of you out there remember that? Those TV dinner trays, they folded up when you didn't need them, but when it was time to eat, you fold it out. You're all sitting on the couch now with your TV dinner, looking at TV. They took the family away from sitting down, eating dinner together as a family, talking about your day, talking about everyone's day, and even talking about some hopes and some dreams and some aspirations. Isn't that interesting? But now you might say, okay, well, what else has society done? Society has taught you to go to school, and all through public school, they're gearing you up. You need to go to college. You're going to, after this 12 years, you need to do at least 5 more, because really the 4-year university is gone. It's really 5-year university. Got to do 5 years in college. And then when you get out of college, you have an opportunity to go out and get a job. You have an opportunity to go out and get a job, and now you qualify to pay income taxes. That's what you qualify for. So now you're out, you're getting a job, and one startling fact that the video told us all about, the average job is only about 4 years. So you have about a 4-year shelf life on your job. You need to do one or two things. You need to either impress the job, the boss, the organization enough that in 4 to 5 years, they're going to either reassign you, give you a promotion, because you don't want to be that statistic where your job is outsourced or just abolished, and you have to do a reset after 4 years. You have to look for another job. And the truth be told, when you get that other job, even if it's doing the exact same thing that you were just doing at another company, the new job is going to start you off at their entry-level salary range. It is rare that they're going to take you on board and say, guess what, we're going to match the other company's salary. Because they know there are plenty of college students getting out of college more than willing to take on that job category for less money. So it seems like you're caught in a never-ending hamster wheel. Let's talk about a study done by the U.S. Census Bureau. And this tells you some facts. They surveyed 100 people aged 65 years of age and over, and they took a look at them and they said, how are they living now? See, because we eased out the age where people got a pension, to where we said you work for us till you retire and we're going to take care of you for the rest of your life. Pensions are gone. They started selling people about 60 years ago on another type of savings plan that is said, oh, it can be risky. We're going to invest into some risky stocks for you, but hopefully by the time you're 65, it would have paid off. Well, the risk did not outweigh the reward. So in 100 people age 65 years of age and over, they found that 1 is wealthy. They found that 3 are still working. 4 have enough money to retire, which is an interesting statement. Have enough money to retire. Let's even say if they had $500,000 to retire on. When you're younger, you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm retiring with $500,000. I'm set. No, you're not. If you're used to living on $50,000 a year, $500,000 is going to last you 10 years. You're going to be 75 years old. And you're going to be out of money, not run out. You're going to be out of money. And then what are you going to do? Isn't it interesting? Let's take a look at our seniors. I live in a neighborhood with probably 90% homeowner. Our beloved seniors' homes, although they are proud of their homes, a lot of them own their homes or near to owning their homes, because unfortunately we're also sold another thing called second mortgage, called refinance. I was at mind you, a financial seminar where the financial advisor said, I could get you in a plan. We could pull some money out of your home and you could go on vacation for a whole year. Doesn't that sound nice? Now I'm looking around the room at the seniors thinking, why would you do that? Why would you refinance your home to go on a vacation for a whole year, meaning your mortgage payment is going to be higher? I don't know any senior in their late 60s that does not need to make regular doctor's visits. That's just a fact. When we get older, don't we have to just see the podiatrist? We got to see our orthodontist. We have to see sometimes our heart specialist. There's so many different types of doctors as seniors we have to see just to maintain a comfortable living. So 4 have enough money to retire. But back to my neighborhood. You can kind of see the neighbors that are living in that retirement state. Their lawns are beautiful because they get out and they water their front yards in the morning because that's something they could do. But it's little things. They can't do their home repairs. Little things. You could see it. If they had enough money to repaint the house, they would repaint the house. House paint is chipping. You know, there's certain upgrades that are not being done to the home, and you can kind of see it. That's because as a senior, you're told you're going to need less money when you're older than when you're younger. That's absolutely not true. There are no discounts when a senior needs to replace the roof on his house. That contractor is not going to come in and give them the senior citizen rate. They're not. Unfortunately, it's our beloved seniors that are targeted and are getting taken advantage of instead of cherished and protected. Now, 63 are dependent on Social Security. They're dependent on some type of charity, or they're definitely dependent on family. That's just the norm. We know we have to help our elderly family members. And then 29 are deceased. They never knew job freedom. They never knew time freedom. They never knew debt freedom. They worked until they died. So in the golden years, 95% of the people aged 65 years of age and over, they cannot afford to retire, and they will work until they die. Now the question is that going to be you? Are you going to work until they die, until you die? Or do you feel like the answer is to get a second job? That's what you feel the answer is going to be. Well, if the task, the job, the career you perform were ever meant to make you wealthy and give you true freedom, don't you think it would have happened already? How many people do you know that have 2 jobs? How much closer to debt freedom, time freedom, financial freedom are they? They aren't. Even with 2 and sometimes 3 jobs. See, that's a reality check. That's a reality check. And the truth is, we need to know and understand what's really happening. If you're an employee, you are taxed the highest. See, there's something called the cash flow quadrant. It's actually a game developed by Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, cash flow quadrant. But those quadrants are real and they're true. There's the employee quadrant. That's where you are trading your time for dollars. You're trading your time for a weekly paycheck. You're trading your time to make somebody else's dream come true. Then there's the self-employed. You own your own business. You know, some are earning revenues in the millions. You know, they actually, some self-employed have employees. But when they're getting to where they're in the millions and they're self-employed, they really have already transferred over into the big business category. But that self-employed category, we love to use this as your dentist, your local dentist that you go to. He's hardworking. He's a professional. He's a doctor. You know, he has staff in his office. But guess what happens if that dentist gets in a car accident and can no longer pull teeth, can no longer do any kind of oral surgeries? The employees in his office cannot perform his skill set. So you have to have a certain type of skill set and license and training to be a dentist. The dental hygienist cannot do what the dentist does. So if he can't go to work, his employees cannot get paid. If he can't go to work, unfortunately, his practice will suffer, and so will his bills, because he can't pay them with no money coming in. Now, the big business owner, he has a dream. His dream is underway. He has employees from the E quadrant coming to work 40 plus hours a week, selling their time for dollars. He's able to tell them what time to be sitting in their seats, what time they can get up to take a 10-minute break, what time they need to be back, what time they get to go to lunch for an hour or a half hour, whatever he chooses, the business owner, what time they could take that last afternoon 10-minute break, and what time they need to go home. He gets to tell them how to live their life for 8 hours of the day. And his dream is coming true. The profits are his and not the employees. But society, or actually the economy, the governments, the system rewards business owners. They get the best tax breaks. Yes, they do. They get breaks for just having you come to work. So there are definite reasons you want to be a business owner or put yourself in a position where you are involved in a system that is going to create residual income for you. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit later. Now, the fourth quadrant is the investor quadrant. The investor quadrant is where your money is working for you, where you're able to put your money in a system, and it's a sound system, it's a wealth building system, and it's going to generate some returns. Now, that's a wonderful system. Now, an exciting fact on that is, do you know that all categories, from the E category to the S category to the B category, all of them can participate in the I quadrant? Now, that's a wonderful statement. Everyone can be an investor. You just need to learn how. Now, if you're that employee in the employee quadrant, you're slumped over, after hearing what I just shared with you, don't you want to stand up a little bit straighter and taller and say, how? See, every time you get paid, you're going to need to do something, and that's how. And I'm going to share that with you in just a few moments. We're going to learn a little financial education on this webinar. Now, there's some wealth principles. We're going to talk about 4 of them. Wealth principle number 1. This is going to make you stand up, is you must pay yourself first. See, on payday Friday, yeah, you're going to always have bills right now. But before you pay your bills, you must pay yourself first. That's wealth principle number 1. That wealth principle is talked about in the book called The Richest Man in Babylon. See, many Americans, working Americans, and I always say I have a problem with this amount, because a lot of working Americans don't have $10,000 in a savings account. Now, there may be quite a few working Americans that have credit cards that their balances could go up to $10,000. But to actually have $10,000 in a saving account, very few people have that. Now, wealth principle number 2, you must create residual income. Mr. Warren Buffett said this: successful people know that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So you need to find yourself a system that employs leverage. You need to find yourself a company where you're going to start benefiting from some residual income. And that's how you're going to generate some wealth. Now let's talk about wealth principle number 3. You must solve taxation. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to legally, legitimately pay as little taxes as I can. Owning a home-based business or a traditional business. I'm a traditional business owner. I own multiple corporations. I never understood tax breaks until I started owning my own corporations. Talk about the laws are favored for the business owner. But see, not everybody can own a corporation, but you know what? Everybody can own a home-based business. Let me tell you a little bit of something about home-based businesses. You see these stories on YouTube where you've got little kids making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Of course, their parents are helping them, but they came up with an idea. And their parents were the type of parents that fostered their dream. And the child is making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. Because see, they started an actual home-based business. I won't forget this. There was a story of this little boy. He had to be probably, at the time the story was done, about 12, 13. But it started back when he was 8. See, when he was a little boy, his mother would put a little bow tie on him when she put his suit on. Well, this little boy fell in love with the bow tie. It got to the point his mother said she couldn't take him anywhere. He had a bow tie on with everything, putting on a t-shirt, putting on a bow tie. He loved bow ties. And he came up with an idea to start a business designing different bow ties. And at the time that story, when he was covered, his little bow tie business was making $700,000 a year. Because he wasn't the only one who loved a good bow tie. So that's one reason we always say you got to have a dream. And then when you have a dream, it has to be something, a dream so big and something you love, and you will make it successful. Now, wealth principle number 4, you must find a way to solve inflation. Inflation. How do you solve inflation? That's a problem. Reducing taxation is a problem. Solving inflation is a problem. But we have the solution. And the solution to those problems is Karatbars International. It's a gold acquisition, wealth building, financial freedom, and payment system. It is simply this. You save the money you want to keep in gold, and you get paid when you invite others who also save in gold. Now, save your money in gold. That's wealth principle number 1. Pay yourself first. Pay it in gold. Wealth principle number 4, solve inflation. Gold outpaces inflation, and we're going to give some examples in just a few moments. But let's talk a little bit about Karatbars International. It was formed in 2011 and internationally ships to over 120 countries. It specializes in the high quality production and sale of high quality gold products in small transaction friendly weights. It is located, one of our headquarters, because we are just exploding in headquarters, is a block and a half away from Mercedes-Benz Corporation in Stuttgart, Germany. Now, Mr. Harold Seitz, he is a visionary. Oh my goodness, Mr. Harold Seitz, I tell you, from corporate owner, multiple corporations. He's a senator on the European Council. He owns gold mines. He owns banks. Mr. Harold Seitz is the visionary, and he has a wonderful mission for all of us. And it's my mission is to produce the highest quality gold available in the market and make it easily accessible to the masses of honest people around the world at a price point everyone can afford. My goal is that Karatbars helps millions find financial freedom from this current system of debt. Now that's a goal. That's a lofty goal. See, we have a proven system. Mr. Harold Seitz knows that wealth building is a mindset. He is on his way to billionaire status, and he tells us, oh, I'm going to make billionaires out of a lot of you. Those who believe, those who stick with me, those who exercise these wealth principles. See, because gold is the only true form of money. Everything else is a money substitute. So that's why everything Mr. Harold Seitz touches, when you look at all the multiple corporations that he has, they are pegged somehow to gold. It's like he has that Midas touch. Every company he touches turns to gold because it has gold in it. And there are 4 ways that you can participate with Karatbars International. And I'm going to talk to you about those 4 ways. First thing you're going to do is you're going to save gold. That's option 1, save gold. We all start here. You decide how much and you decide how often. See how much you're going to pay yourself first and how often. The reason why you're going to do it in gold, because gold is money. Gold is the best form of money, and it's a safe store of value, and it's in wealth, period. Here's some examples. In 1971, 1 gram of gold would get you about 5 loaves of bread. $1 would get you about 4 loaves of bread. Flash forward today, 1 gram of gold will get you more than 25 loaves of bread, whereas $1 is going to get you maybe 2 slices, maybe. Now, some people love examples where money is involved. Show me the money. Okay, so in 1971, you had $2,000, $1,000 in your left hand and $1,000 in your right hand. With your left hand, you slid those $1,000 up under your mattress. Right there, slid it right there. Then with your right hand, you got 24.6 ounces of gold, because that's what it would buy in 1971. Now you decided it's 2017, 18, just today, I'm gonna pull this money out of the mattress. The $1,000 is still $1,000. However, it will not buy what it used to buy. It won't. And when you take $100 bills from 1971 to the bank, they're going to look at them and say, well, where'd you get this from? Because isn't it interesting? The $100 bill has many faces. It's changed over the years. They're going to look at that $100 bill in 1971 and put it through all kind of counterfeit tests to make sure it's an authentic $100 bill. But now you take that 24.6 ounces of gold from under your bed. Do you know it is worth more than $32,373? When we talk about you must find a way to solve inflation, that's the way. What else could you do that's going to yield you a $3,137 increase on something that you have put, a system you put your actual paper money into, which is gold, and you just let it sit there? Gold is a safe store of value and a safe store of wealth. Now at Karatbars, we have wonderful gold products, from our classic gold products to our wonderful gift gold products. We're going to be at our Let's Go weekend, and when we're always at our Let's Go weekends, we hold up our Gladiator gold cards. We have cash gold products. The cash gold is what fuels our Carat Pay app. The cash gold is where businesses are getting involved. You can patronize businesses that proudly accept gold, transfer it from your app into their account, and walk out with the merchandise for those that want to use their gold for that. Now, option number 2 is we save gold and we earn income. See, when you just want to save gold, and you know some other people that want to just save gold, you're going to get a percentage of the total revenue of them just saving in gold. Starts at 0.5% and it goes to 6% depending on the volume in your organization of people linked to you, and you are paid monthly. Now, if you want to maximize your earning income, maximize your earning potential, you're going to complete your registration, you're going to become an affiliate, and you're going to immediately tonight select a business package. You can come in as a VIP in Carrot Bars, top of the compensation plan. And I'm going to talk about the compensation plan in just a few moments. But the VIP is the place you want to be because you're a business owner. Don't you want your profits to be as high as they possibly can whenever income is generated in your business? That's the VIP position. Get back to the person who's invited you to this webinar so they can go over the different packages. Because we do have packages that are gold. We have a silver and a bronze package. Get back to the person who invited you. Then you're going to want to go ahead and upload your KYC documents. That's Know Your Customer documents. It has to be a valid picture ID. And then you need to upload proof of address, proof of where you receive your mail. Physical address, because it's FedEx. FedEx is going to physically deliver your business package, which, by the way, has gold in it. They're going to physically deliver it to your door. You know how we said you're going to pay yourself first? That's this step right here. You're going to decide how often, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And then you're going to purchase gold according to what you have decided. We have something wonderful called auto exchange. It's being updated and it's being enhanced, but you're going to want to pay yourself first, and then you're going to want to invite others to do the same. Now I want you to look at all of these steps, steps 1 through 4 especially. You're going to register. You're going to turn on your open for business sign by buying a business package. And remember, didn't you learn? It's the one that owns a business owner or a business model that has you benefiting from leverage and residual income. You're going to benefit from some wonderful tax break incentives. See, it's going to help you solve taxation. Then you're going to prove who you are, and then you're going to pay yourself first. All 4 of those have everything to do with you and the economy in your household. So all we're doing is inviting you to change your life. And all you're going to be doing is inviting others to make it all about themselves as well and benefit from the 4 wealth principles. And when that happens, duplication starts to happen. It's the same thing as with a penny that doubles every day. It is still sad when you give this example. Which would you rather do? Take a suitcase full of $500,000 right now, or would you be patient, delay some gratification, and take this 1 penny that doubles every day for 30 days? So many people say, give me the briefcase, and they're already running to the parking lot. When if they would just simply delay some gratification, that penny that doubles every day for 30 days will be over $5,368,709.12. That's astounding. So let's talk about duplication. See, duplication, benefiting from leverage. Right now, you're starting to think, I do want things to change. I do want my savings account to be different. And I want it to be different, meaning I want the balance to be higher than last year. And I want it to be in a system that's not attached to my debit card that I tend to pull out and buy whatever I want with on it. I need it in gold. I need that. I'm looking right now. Is this you? Are you looking right now to start a business to help you bring an extra $500 to $1,000 into your home every month. Part-time. You could do it from home. See, all you got to do is invite the people you know to make it all about themselves, all about beating inflation, solving the tax situation, benefiting from it, as a matter of fact, by paying themselves first, starting a business, and then benefiting from leverage. Now, you might say, I don't have a lot of time, but guess what? You may only have an hour a night, 5 hours a week, but Cheryl might say the kids are in school. I could do 7 hours a day. Dan might have another 6 hours. Right there. That's 14 hours. See, remember, Mr. Warren Buffett said you must find a system where you can benefit from leverage. See, when you start sharing and the people you're sharing with get out there and share with the people they know, you're benefiting from leverage, and all of this is tied to you. It's all downline in your organization. Look at all of those people paying themselves first, and all of them turning on their open for business sign. So now let's talk a little bit about how money is earned in carrot bars. Now, when you open up, you get your business package. You turn on your open for business sign. It turns on what's called a dual system. And here's how it works. There's a left team and a right team. And that goes to infinity. It doesn't stop 15 levels down. It doesn't stop 20 levels down. It doesn't stop 200 levels down. It goes to infinity. All of Carrot Bar's products have unit values attached to them. You see the values in the Carrot Bar's back office under products, pricing, and details. The business packages, they also have units attached to them. So you said, okay, well, what does units have to do with anything? Here's what units have to do with. Every time there are 25 units on either your left or your right side and 50 units on the opposite side, you get an instant dual team payout instantly. You'll see it immediately in your back office. Now remember the graphic I just showed where the organization was growing, people were coming in, they were getting business packages, they were paying themselves first. That's how the units start to accumulate with that activity. So now here's why I said you want to get the highest level business package that you can afford. Because if you're a VIP, every time that dual team payout happens, do you know you get close to $100? This 80 euro, but depending on how the dollar is against the euro, it's really right about $100 every time it happens. If your gold business package is about $75, if you're silver, it's about $50, $55. If you are bronze, it's $25 for the exact same activity. But Carrot Bars allows you to start at whatever financial level you are. If a bronze package is what you can get tonight and get started, get that bronze package. But if there's any way you can get your VIP package, get your VIP package. That's one of those things you want to pull out the credit card for that. VIP is the place to be. Now the system is designed to do 180,000 dual team payouts per week. We're paid on a prepaid MasterCard. It's beautiful. And Mr. Harold Seiss does one better. If you're earning commissions of over 200 euro in 1 week, he's going to pay you with a gram of gold and then the rest in euro on your prepaid MasterCard. Now let's talk a little bit about option 4. I'm so excited that there is an option 4. We have a cryptocurrency. We have Carrot coins. Our first coin is Carrot Bank Coin. It's actually called KCB, Carrot Gold Coin. It's KBC, but it's called Karat Gold Coin. We kind of had a little name change along the way. It's available now on CoinSuper and HitBTC. Coin is starting to take some movement on. We invite you. See, this is an investment. Cryptocurrencies are an investment. Gold is a safe store of value. Cryptocurrencies are an investment. But you want to know what makes our coin different? Our coin is backed by gold. Remember I said all of Harold Site's companies, gold has something to do with them, physical gold, even our cryptocurrency. And here's our brand new one, KCB, Karat Coin Bank. The KCB, now it has a wonderful utility. It's a part of the whole Karat Gold ecosystem. Do you know every time a Karat Coin Bank coin is purchased, the bank, we have our own bank, it's in Miami, Mr. Harold Sykes does. The bank deposits an amount of physical gold to help back up our original coin, our original KCB coin. And then when the bank purchases gold, the value of the KCB increases. We have a system. And then when the bank buys gold, the bank gets, it does get the benefit from some fees, which increases the bank's value. And then when the bank increases its value, the KCB being linked to the bank, it also increases in value. So this whole system works hand in hand. And from every profit that the bank does, 50% will always be used to buy physical gold to support our original coin. We have everything. From gold as a safe store of value to our cryptocurrency that is involved in such a wonderful ecosystem that this is the time to get involved. Now the research has been done. Our gold is from LBMA approved refineries. We're in over 120 countries worldwide. FedEx is our delivery partner. The MasterCard you saw, that's what we get paid on. The Vatican does fundraising with Karat bars. We have hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers and affiliates worldwide. So here's what you need to do. I have showed you a system that you can actually get involved right now. Registration's free. Get back to the person who invited you, inbox that person who invited you and say, I saw the presentation. I am ready to sign up. And they're going to send you their referral link. You must have a referral link. You must be invited by a Karat Bars affiliate to get involved with Karat Bars. But we'll happily get you started. See, all we do is save a lot of gold. We invest in the KBC and KCB. We tell a lot of people, and we make a lot of money in Karat Bars. Now, we don't just stop there. We take you by the hand, and we help you. We help you run your brand new home-based business off. I mean, we tell you how to get started fast, how not to make all the pitfalls and the mistakes, because we want you to succeed. See, and that's what's unique. A lot of business models, especially your traditional business model. Let's say you're starting an ice cream store. You can't go down to your competitor who may be around the corner, a block or two down, and say, can you tell me some of the mistakes you made so that I don't make those mistakes, so that I can either get more customers than you or just hit the ground running? I want to avoid the pitfalls you made. Do you think they're going to lock arms with you and say, sure, here's the keys to the kingdom? Well, here at Wealth Builders Worldwide, we're going to lock arms with you. We're not only going to give you the keys to the kingdom, every single week, we're going to tell you how to turn the lock, because we want you inside the door. We want to run with the runners. So with that being said, My name is Sheila Abram. It has been my pleasure presenting this wealth building webinar to you this evening. Get back to the person who invited you and let them know, sign me up. I'm ready to run. Have a wonderful evening.